News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, a local elementary school raises funds for autism awareness.
And 4 wild horses are rounded up for adoption. News 25 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
A local elementary school principal takes the plunge for autism. It's Tuesday, April 23rd. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
Man's Elementary School held a unique fundraiser Friday morning. The principal, Laura Weir, took one for the team and jumped into the dunk tank for a great cause.
We did a fundraiser for autism awareness. It's Autism Awareness Month, April is, and I sat in a dunk tank. Kids got to pay $1 to throw to try to dunk the principal today, and we are donating all of the money to the Autism Speaks Foundation. We started at 10 o'clock this morning, so I was in it for about 2.5 hours. I got out for 10 minutes here and there.
It must have been so much fun, the kids doing this. So you're going to put the money towards what?
It's going to go to the Autism Speaks Foundation. During my morning announcements every week, I've been talking about the autism awareness, and there were articles shared with teachers to share a little bit of information with each of the classrooms based on their age level. The kind of information that was shared was a little bit different.
Yeah. And so were you the only one in the dunk tank today?
Mostly. One of my secretaries got in for a short little time, and I got to throw the ball at her. Autism awareness means we need to be aware of all of the special needs that are surrounding us with people today, especially with children in our schools. We need to have an open mind and make sure that we have equality for all. There were at least 500 students that threw the balls at me today, including about 10 staff members, and I was dunked at least 50 times.
Looks fun. And that small herd of wild horses that were being observed on the former dairy here in Pahrump will be rounded up and available for adoption soon.
The Bureau of Land Management says that all 4 horses were removed from the former dairy off Blagg Road yesterday. Nye County Animal Control was called in with the Sheriff's Department after the herd of horses made it to the center of town. The horses made the area near Blagg and Basin Avenue their home. That is when the BLM was called in to relocate these animals. These horses have been on the property for the past couple of weeks. One of the mares actually gave birth on the property, and the foal did not survive. The other 4 horses that were part of this herd have been spotted in the area north of town. The BLM says that one of the horses that was hit by a car several weeks ago did not survive. These horses will spend a few days in temporary corrals until they can be transported to the Ridgecrest Regional Wild Horse and Burro Corrals, where they will eventually be available for adoption. Or to purchase a wild horse or burro, you can go to blm.gov to learn more about the wild horse and burro programs, including the adoption and sale events, the adoption incentive programs, herd management, and how to get involved.
Well, the president has drawn a line in the sand when it comes to releasing his financial records. Angela Miles has that story and more.
Tapping our news, President Trump is filing a lawsuit to stop Congress from getting a hold of his financial records. The president's attorney calls it presidential harassment. House Oversight Chair Elijah Cummings says the committee wants to determine if the president accurately reported his own finances. In IPO watch, Beyond Meat is expected to price shares around $20. The ticker symbol will be BYND on the NASDAQ. Tesla is reportedly sending a team of investigators to Shanghai, where a Model S electric car burst into flames over the weekend. In the U.S., Tesla CEO Elon Musk talked up the automaker's ability to create an electric driverless car. Whirlpool delivered strong earnings that easily topped Wall Street expectations. The appliance company has been cutting costs. Revenue at $4.7 billion was down slightly from the previous year.
Thanks, Angela. And stay tuned. When News 25 returns, we'll tell you how VEA is helping special needs students in Pahrump.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, special needs students in our district have received a useful tool, care of Valley Electric Association. The electrical cooperative has donated 28 computer tablets to the Nye County School District for use by special education support services. School district officials say that about 5 of the devices will be sent to GABS for use by the new head teacher next year in working with students and robotics. The tablets, all iPads, are 7 to 8 years old but have been well maintained and are still in excellent working condition. VEA used some of those tablets in the field by line crews and for fiber mapping.
And a beautiful bronze plaque and stone were dedicated Sunday morning at Simpkins Park in honor of a local who gave so much to so many.
A plaque dedication was held Sunday morning right before Easter services at Simpkins Park for the late Cassandra Selbach, who died in January from an autoimmune disease. Cassandra was 35 years old and a community leader who leaves behind 2 children. Residents joined around the rock that was placed by the town of Pahrump and created from the community, including Ron Murphy Construction and other donors who paid for the beautiful plaque. Speaking at the service was Cassandra's best friends Wendy King, Matthew King, and Ryan Muccio. Also speaking was her brother Daniel Mills. Looking on was her sons Jacob Selbach, who is with Wendy King, and Jonathan Selbach, who is in the audience. Ryan Muccio explains what the plaque says.
I guess we'll read it so you guys can actually know what it says. So it says, dedicated to Cassandra Selbach for her commitment to the community and volunteerism. This monument is to memorialize Cassandra's life and her family for the annual Easter festivities that they created here in Simpkins Park. Romans 8:28, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. A mother's love is always with her children. I just have something brief to say before DJ and Matt and Wendy might say something. But for those of you who know Cassandra well, you know the last thing she would want us to do is stand around a rock and be sad Easter morning, right? So Easter is about joy and happiness and excitement. So today on Easter is about new beginnings. While Cassandra and the memories we have had with her will never go away, we must find peace, transitioning from the sadness and mourning to joy and happiness. That is what Cassandra would have wanted, and that is what we must do. Let us use this stone and plaque not as a reminder of the sadness of Cassandra's passing, but as a reminder to live our lives in a way that glorifies God and honors Cassandra. The event today represents Cassandra's unwavering love for God, her family, and this community. So let us go about today knowing that Cassandra's spirit is in each and every Easter egg and woven between every blade of grass in this park. Thank you.
I didn't have anything prepared, but it has been a very exciting morning being here for Easter. And I definitely, a lot of great memories with Sandy here, you know what I mean? So, just very blessed to be her brother, to be able to see her grow as a mother, as a child of God, as a member of the community, and just as family for many of us here. So, let's be happy.
Right now,
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things about Cassandra is how blown away that she would have been that all of you would be here, that there'd be a park for children, you know, a playground named after her. She would have never in her wildest dreams would she'd ever imagine that the community loved her in that way. But she loved the community that way. I don't know anybody, I haven't met anybody that loved the community the way that she did. And so, I just want to thank everyone who partook in this, and what a way to honor her. And man, she would be really blown away by this.
Cassandra, she was my best friend, and I miss her all the time. But she would want to be remembered as, first of all, as a Christian, someone who loved Jesus, and secondly, as a mom, and third as someone who loved her community. And so this is absolutely perfect. It could have been more perfect. She couldn't have asked for a better legacy. So thank you all. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to our kids for being here, too. God bless you.
All right, that's it.
Go have fun.
See you in the snow.
Such a touching honor.
Yeah, it was a great ceremony.
Yes. And News 25 will return.
News 25 is brought to you by Bill and Robin Law, injury attorneys. Injured, need money? Get Bill and Robin, your local Pahrump injury attorneys.
Welcome back. Well, Simpkins Park on the north side of Pahrump will be receiving some new lighting, and it's going to help the field and have events be held there at night, and it's going to be lit, as those millennials like to say.
There's another park in town that can be used after dark. Simpkins Park on the north side of town has just received its lighting, which was long overdue. Local company Industrial Light and Power, owned by Andrew James, once again put up this high-efficiency LED lights at the park. These use less power and are more directional. The kids can now play baseball and soccer in this area. The bid proposal went out last year for Baseball Field 1, which came in at $474,840. The State of Nevada Division of State Parks, however, funded half of it. A federal grant was issued for $277,320. The town paid the remainder of the portion out of its general fund. Industrial Light and Power provided lighting for Petrick Park and Ian Deutsch Memorial Park recently. These lights are guaranteed for 20 years, according to County Commissioner John Koenig. They also use smart technology, so you can run them off your phone. Officials say that there's no maintenance on these bulbs, so building and grounds crews don't have to be there every week to change the light bulbs.
Well, Spring Mountain Motorsports was missing 2 vehicles recently. Not one of their sports cars, though. Instead, police say an employee took a couple of off-road vehicles.
Patrol members be advised.
Jeffrey Jones has been arrested for grand larceny ×2. According to the declaration of arrest, law enforcement with Nye County were dispatched to Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch here in Pahrump in reference to a stolen vehicle. The suspect was believed to be an employee. During further investigation, officers viewed video surveillance footage that revealed on April 3rd that a male had gotten into a Polaris Ranger UTV and drove it away. Officers showed the video surveillance footage to several employees who identified the individual as Jeffrey Jones. The Ranger was worth approximately $2,500. When making contact with Jones, he stated to police, according to the report, that he was at the Hideaway Bar the night of the incident. Officers say that in reviewing that camera footage, they did not find anyone matching Jeffrey's description in the bar that night. Deputies were once again dispatched to Spring Mountain Motorsports on April 10th in reference to an additional vehicle that had allegedly been stolen. This one was a Kawasaki Mule, valued at approximately $12,500. A witness told police, according to the report, that Jeffrey had admitted that he stole both of the UTVs. Officers say that they went to the address where this vehicle was allegedly stored and found the Ranger. Spring Mountain reported to police that Jeffrey Jones was a no-call, no-show for 3 days and that he asked if they could mail his final check. Officers responded to Jones's address and took him into custody, transporting him to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center.
The band of the Golden West performed to a delighted audience at Pahrump Valley High School this past week.
We had a concert featuring the Travis Brass. It's the Air Force Band of the Golden West from San Francisco. They actually reached out to me last year around October or November, wondering if they could come on their leg of the tour to hit Pahrump as they're going through Vegas. I said, sure, why not? They came and after school, they did a clinic for my kids, for the band kids, and they performed a couple tunes for them from their performance here, and they just loved it. And then we got to perform some of our upcoming pieces for our final concert, and they got to critique us, and our flute quartet got to play for them too. It was a wonderful experience, and afterwards they also got some one-on-one time, and get some nice ideas of how to, get better with their instruments. They discussed, it's in the Air Force, not everyone flies a plane, and there's so many jobs, just like in the civilian world, where if you want to be a doctor or a cook and that, and they love what they do. They get to perform music, and they do a lot of military ceremonies and stuff, but they tell the kids, you got to work really hard at it. It's very competitive, and if you love it, then go for it. We contacted the newspaper and the TV to try to get the word out, and the kids post flyers around town and stuff, and I posted on the website at the school here too, so the parents would know about it as well. So
Travis Air Force Base, well, it's part of Air Mobility Command. It's at Travis Air Force Base, California, in between Sacramento and San Francisco. And Air Mobility Command is basically all the large cargo planes and the refuelers stationed out there that help keep things moving and move things all over the world within 24 hours, actually. We're just out here to, in part, thank the community for their support, also encourage more support of the active duty military deployed members, and of course the veterans, and just give a good concert and bring about some good morale for the military.
What was it like with the students here today at Pahrump Valley High School?
Oh, that's always awesome, because that's where we started too. We all started our instruments in 6th grade and went through high school and started enjoying it and doing lessons. We were all inspired by someone who came and performed for us at one point or another. We perform all over the West Coast, basically. California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, and Nevada. But we perform military ceremonies, all sorts of functions on bases for the military. We also perform public concerts, as we did tonight. We'd go out into the schools and teach music to music students, and also just perform for kids and just represent the Air Force. The band itself, the Band of the Golden West, is about 60 people total. And we have a full concert band that goes out and tours all those areas. And then that also splits up into smaller groups. We have a rock band who is actually deployed right now overseas for diplomatic and entertainment reasons. And then we have the brass quintet like tonight, and woodwind quintet, and the clarinet quartets. When we go into the younger age groups in the schools, we try and just expose them to the idea that the military isn't, there's so many different jobs and careers in the military. It's a lot like a public school. It's not just a teacher. The Air Force is not just pilots. There's any career you can think of in the military that is out there possible for them.
News 46 Weather Cam is brought to you by Glenn Lerner Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's take a look outside through our Glenn Lerner weather cam at that shot of Pahrump. It's beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky in that direction. It's not too hot, not too cool, and we'll take a closer look at our forecast and what else we can expect temperature-wise when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donahue with today's temperatures. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 88 degrees, a low of 66. Death Valley back up in those hundreds at 101 and a low of 72. Amargosa at 88.59. Beatty at 85.56. Goldfield 74.46. Tonopah high 72, low of 46. Carson City at 77.47. Fallon at 78.46. And Fernley at 79.49. Today in Pahrump, sunny skies, a high of 87 degrees. Winds coming out of the north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. humidity at 15%, and our sunrise at 6 a.m. For tonight, it's currently 85 degrees outside with clear skies. Our low tonight will be 59 degrees. Winds coming out the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour, 25% humidity, and our sunset, expected at 7:24 p.m. Looking ahead to our 7-day, we do have some sunny skies this Wednesday through Friday, and we have some clouds rolling in for this weekend. We have a 40% chance of rain next Monday, but we'll keep an eye on that. For our high temperatures, I'm not really a huge fan of what I'm seeing right now. Wednesday through Saturday, our high temperatures are expected to be in those low 90s, just between 90 and 92 degrees. Next Sunday, we're going to drop down just a little bit to 85, Monday down to 77, and by next Tuesday, we're going to be up just a little bit to 81 degrees. For overnights, this Wednesday through Saturday, our low temperatures are expected to be in those mid-60s, just between 63 and 65 degrees. And then Sunday through Tuesday, we're going to drop down to those high 50s, between 56 and 57 degrees. Now, if you can't make it home in time to catch the news live on TV, make sure to check out our Facebook page. You can catch the news live every night at 5, even on the go, as well as any other news and updates. So now we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna and Eunette.
Can't wait to see how that rain turns out.
I know, yeah, sometimes it's needed.
Yeah,
We can all use a nice rainy afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so KPVM is going to be at the Biz Expo this Friday and
That's
Saturday.
right.
We'll see you there. I think Eunette's going to be hanging out. I hope so.
Yes, I will. See you this weekend.
Exactly. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.